This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Hello, America, and welcome to the #1 radio station in all of Fort Myers Beach. Beach Talk Radio. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
And welcome to Wahoo Willie's. No round of applause needed. Thank you very much. Welcome to Sunday Brunch with the Mayor. We're going to have Mayor Dan Allers on in just a few minutes, and we're also going to talk to Joy from the Community Foundation because there's always fun stuff going on with the Community Foundation. And I also want to let you all know, if you're here live, the Community Foundation cookbooks are here. We can sell those. And they have flags too, yes. So what the Community Foundation cookbooks are, they're recipes from, unfortunately, a lot of the restaurants that are no longer around. So it's really like a collector's item if you want to see what some of the old-time restaurants cooked up for everybody. You can purchase, it's $30, right? Or is it $100? $30. You can pay $100 if you want. It's all going to the Community Foundation. And they sold so many of those books because everybody loves to see what I just tell you some of the places that are in the book here. Skies, we were just talking about Skies that are in Santini Plaza. They're going to be coming back. Let's see, what else? Are you going to join the show or are you just going to stand there? I'm waiting. Pierside. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Kim Ryan. Woo! So I think she was waiting for an official introduction. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the show, dear. Let's see what else we have here. Easy Taco Dip from, it's an appetizer. I don't know where that one's from. It's from a really cool place.
Well, it's
SOB.
Divided by the different.
Hey,
yes.
Don't touch the cookbook, please. Plaka Restaurant,
goodness.
Mangaritas, which is now on 41.
La
Ola, which is also has 2 locations now. So SOB is in here a couple times. So the cookbooks, if you want one, are $30. And you can purchase them right here. Joy is here. All that money goes to the Community Foundation, which is a great local organization that we love. Welcome to the show, dear. How was your bike ride today?
Non-existent. Again, I mean, I feel so bad for Power Black Builders.
I know.
Every time I try to go out,
she lost her voice a few weeks ago.
Or I get sick.
Which is why she wasn't here last week. But we kind of were trying to figure out whether or not she wanted to do the bike rides. And so she decided a couple of weeks ago she was going to do the bike ride. And then it rained 2 weeks ago. And last week she got sick. And we did get a sponsor, Power Block Builders. Boy, they're milking this bike ride that hasn't happened. They got 3 weeks worth of sponsorship.
I know.
And we haven't even done it yet.
I feel so bad.
I don't know if anybody saw the walk around that I did yesterday with Sharon from.
You seem to have more luck on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday was a great weather day with Holiday Water Sports. We walked from the Pink Shell to Diamond Head, and you
didn't fall.
And I didn't fall. There were a lot of holes. Folks, if you come to the beach and you dig a hole, you're supposed to fill it back in, even though it's not turtle season. Practice during off turtle season. You want to fill those holes back in, not only so old farts like me don't fall in them, but so that eventually the turtles don't fall in them. We don't want that happening. Yeah. So she is a great storyteller about the beach. Her and her husband started their business when they were 22 years old, and they are open for business. They also do demolition work. So if you get a chance to go back and watch that, it was really fun. It was a long walk, and my legs hurt now. But thank you to Sharon. And right now, without any further ado, we're going to get...
Your legs hurt?
My legs hurt from the long walk. Actually, I did... Thursday was leg day, so 48 hours later, my legs hurt from working out. Tom doesn't know what working out is. By the way, these guys are getting married on March 29th. Right? March 29th at Snug Harbor. How many? So if you want to crash the wedding at Snug Harbor, it's open to the public. Just bring a gift. Is it open to the public? Or is it going to be a closed wedding? I see. You couldn't find enough friends to close the place. So it's only half closed. So how many people are coming to your wedding? 30 people.
No,
Wow.
well, that's nice.
Is
Nice
this-
family.
Right. Is this your first wedding? Your first marriage, Tom?
Yeah,
Second?
I was gonna say probably
Second?
not.
This is your fourth wedding. Holy Christmas, man.
Hey,
What happened, man? What went wrong? Wow.
Four is not that, but that's not anything
Are you worried
to say
that
anything
that
about.
there could be a fifth, or are you cool with being the fourth? Dude, you don't even look that old. I mean, how old are you? 56. You've had, this is going to be your fourth wife. Dude, you better straight and narrow, man. Come on. 4 wives.
Okay.
What is wrong with you, man?
Hey,
Holy Christmas. Get him on a couch or something.
Four is.
Does anyone else
respectable.
raise your hand if you've had 4 spouses? You're the only one in the house that's on your 4th wedding.
Oh, Dan put his hand up, but I
know.
don't think that was for that.
No, I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Fort Myers Beach. A big round of applause for the
Who
star of the
has
show,
not been married 4 times, even though he
Dan
raised his hand.
Allers. You're supposed to applaud now, everybody, for Dan. Come on. You're on now.
Thanks. Ed.
Welcome to the show. So the first question I have for you, we talked a little bit about it beforehand. I went down to the women's club today to try and scope out where the concert's going to be. We sold 300 tickets for the women's club to the March 2nd concert, and Estero Boulevard's a river.
It's a lot of water.
What's going on with the
stormwater
Yeah, what's
stuff.
going on with that?
Well, heavy debris trucks have a tendency to put a beating on a road, and the water before the storm it drained really well.
Yeah.
Now obviously it's puddling up in some areas, many areas, just because the drains are higher than the pavers and the road itself. So we talked to Dave Harner from the county, was down at our meeting on Thursday and asked about it, and it sounds like they are getting some FEMA. I don't think it's been obligated yet, but it sounds like they're going to get some FEMA money to be able to address it.
So
Can you tell like when they built that road, because that road's not that old.
No.
And they made it like with the permeable rocks in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Explain, because I don't. That's the extent of my knowledge. Explain how that works, and then what happened after the storm, as you can understand it.
Well, so that area that has those pavers in the center, there wasn't enough right of way on either side to do like they did on the south end, where it drains to the side. So they had to drain it to the center. So those pavers actually act as part of the drainage system. It's supposed to allow water to get down into the system. The problem with pavers, anybody that's ever had pavers knows, when you drive over them in the same exact spot, if anybody from the Midwest that's had them, you get the tire ruts because the weight just kind of compacts it. And I think that's what's happened out here. Even before they finished it, you notice they were taking the pavers and redoing them, because as they were doing the road, they were sinking from the trucks driving on it. So it wasn't the optimal system, but it was the best system for the money that you could do at the time.
Well, and no one was going to predict that there was going to be all those.
You weren't expecting
right.
double trailer semi haulers to be going up and down.
And
50 billion ton trucks down
for
there.
the record, so everybody knows that doesn't know, Estero Boulevard is owned by Lee County, not the town of Fort Myers Beach. So it is a Lee County project, and they have a lot of projects they're working on.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of projects. Imagine countywide.
Yeah.
How many they have?
I mean, I remember somebody at the county board meeting said there were 140 traffic lights that are still broken from Hurricane Ian. I mean,
And the
traffic,
signs
yeah.
and-
Not
traffic
to mention,
lights are a big deal.
Traffic lights, crosswalks.
So,
we all,
Ugh.
even at our level and at the county level and even at the state level, you want to just go ahead and fix it. But it comes down to, you have to have the money. And anybody that knows it's been through the process now knows you
ding,
can't.
ding, 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 ding.
Is that the word again?
No, it's not.
Dang.
Just for
I'm
anybody.
trying to find
Hanover's
it.
not
I'm trying
here.
to find it.
There's a lot of people that are visiting from out of
there
town.
he is.
We usually have somebody here that says they're going to start a drinking game. Every time Dan says a certain word, everyone's got a drink, but he didn't show up on time.
He's
And we don't have a
hiding
word.
right behind
Last
there.
week's word was processed, so everybody got hammered last Sunday when Dan was on.
That's not true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of the middle lane, for those that are drivers that don't understand the middle lane, you're not allowed to pass people in the middle lane. What happened this morning?
One found out the hard way this morning that was a bad idea. I was driving north, and there were 3 cars in front of us, in front of me, and then in front of that was one of the town-owned buggies that collects the trash to dump the trash, and those can only go so fast. Well, the person in front of me thought it was important enough that they should pass them down the center lane. But what they didn't realize is the sheriff was sitting right there and watched the entire thing, and he was on him. So I was able to capture a good picture of them being pulled over. And I thought, It's just a matter of time before you get caught. Well, it's not only is it stupid, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see when you're sitting in, I know people hate talking about it, the traffic. You see people doing that. We were in traffic yesterday or 2 days ago, and there was a guy that drove down the other side of the lane with his flashers on almost the entire length of the island to try to cut back in. He even had to, the ambulance coming the other way had to actually go up on the sidewalk because the guy didn't get out.
Stop.
I'm not kidding.
Wow. Did
And how
anyone?
many
That's
people
arrogant.
people that, they're, if you're in
I'm
dead
surprised
stop
I didn't get
traffic
that
and there's
picture.
someone walking across, it
No
was like, I
kidding.
couldn't get my phone out fast enough.
Somebody must have had their camera.
I just want to
rolling.
thank everybody that lives on the island or visits the island that sends me every dumbass picture that you could possibly see because I don't even need to get
You
out
can
of
do a-
bed.
You should do a scrapbook. You can do a Beach
People-
Talk Radio
Well, at
scrapbook.
first it started off as a calendar,
People
and
want-
then there was so many pictures. We
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
into 2028,
Right.
and so
Or it could be four
What's a-
four
it's-
pictures on every
One
page.
of the old cottage property, they took you notice they took and quarantined off the front on Estero
Mhm.
Boulevard, and it wraps around by Tuna Skin, and they're still driving down and around and parking on the beach. Right, it's like people are going to do what people are going to do.
well, the thing is though, today that the guy passed today that got pulled over by the sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
that was today. It's always, you never see that though. Like you'll see somebody do something and you're like praying that there's a sheriff. Yes. Because you just want to like ride by, slow down, roll down the window and be like, yeah, you idiot, finally got it. So,
Just a simple
you
question.
know, well, wait a minute. The county roped off their property too in front of
Yeah.
Margaritaville because that was kind of free.
Yeah,
I
people were
mean,
parking
there was
all
no
over.
signs, so people were
Yeah.
parking there.
And
But not
people are
anymore.
asking, you see they're working on Crescent,
yes.
but they haven't pulled the fence down yet. Why aren't they pulling the fence down? Because you'd have 58 cars parked there.
That
in
looks like a
about 2
parking lot to
minutes.
me.
Yeah.
There's no sign that says no parking.
Right.
So, is the United States Postal Service allowed to drive on the sidewalk? I'm just wondering.
Not we were in traffic and saw the picture that you shared. We saw him go right by us.
But the thing that some people were defending the post office, like it's okay to drive on the sidewalk because they're trying to get the mail in the mailbox. But hey, there was no house there, and the mailboxes are on the other side of.
Well, he actually went down the sidewalk and then turned and went down the side street. So he was doing the side streets.
He just didn't want to wait in traffic to turn the side street.
I can't speak for him, but
It's
Can-
not your story to tell, as
Yeah.
the Reverend
stop,
said yesterday.
Dear. All right, enough of this story to tell. Did you see the Reverend yesterday? He was super cool. The
did
new
not.
Reverend of the Catholic
Saint-
Church.
St. Raphael's.
Yes.
no.
Have
I did
you,
not.
Tom? Have you read Luke yet? You should read Luke. Yeah, it's in the Bible. Do you know what the Bible is, Tom? Obviously not. You've been married 4 times.
Wow.
He could take a joke.
And then he wonders why nobody claps for him.
So, now I forgot what I was going to ask you.
Wow.
No, he could take a joke. Come on. I would never say that to anybody nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
right.
we're doing a show here and you're on your phone. What could possibly be more entertaining than this show?
He's writing comments in your comment box.
There's a lot of people visiting from like Iowa. Who's from Iowa? Somebody said they were from Iowa, Illinois.
Kentucky,
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
I got family that lives in Iowa.
Yeah.
Persia.
Indiana.
Where else?
Michigan?
You get Michigan,
Ohio,
Ohio.
OH.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
What are we all going to do on Sunday now that football's over? I mean, jeepers creepers.
You get your son. Well, I'm a Viking fan. I got my Sundays back.
a long
weeks
time
ago.
ago. Yeah, me too. It was week 3 when I was done with football.
Yeah, I think it
Being
was
a
about week
Giants
4
fan.
for us. But
So you guys hired a new PIO. Actually, you promoted somebody.
Mhm.
I was telling you before the show, you could tell right away after Jenny left, you could tell right away that somebody was posting your stuff on social media. It's like, okay, what's going on here? Somebody knows what they're doing with social media. And Nicole she was just killing it right out of the gate.
yeah, Nicole. I think it was Nicole and Andy was actually doing some of it too, helping out with it till they got Nicole hired, and she's been doing it part time while she
Okay.
was doing her full time job at the Bay Oaks, and now she'll be able to do it. We're excited to see what she's going to do and how she's going to do it.
So
But as
she'll
to
be
your
full
point, she's-
time.
Yeah, that's her position now is the PIO.
Cool. So I apologize, Barbara. I said something wrong about the Catholic Church. What did I call it? I called it the wrong name. Did I say the wrong name
Did
of
you
the
say
church?
Yes,
St. Peter's or
it's
what did
Episcopal.
Oh, sorry. I apologize, Barbara. I'm not a church person. I apologize for that. I know I'm going to hell, and the Father confirmed it yesterday. I was going straight to hell. So I didn't mean to do that. So he's the
Yeah,
father
right.
of the Catholic Church, right?
Episcopal.
Episcopal Church. Oh, there's so many churches on the island. I can't keep track of them
Yeah,
all.
well,
There's 4 of
that's
them.
what you see.
Maybe you should go visit some
I
of
know.
them so that it can cement in your head. Although they've already had enough damage from the storm, so
Yeah.
they really don't want you walking in there and having it come down.
They
Actually,
might close up the tent. They see you pulling up on your bike.
we we were talking about it last
They
night.
might start throwing that holy water.
I was going to set up the show and bike down
Get thee
to
back, Satan.
the church and show up for a half hour for the first half hour.
Yep.
Because Catholic services are 3 hours long. You're up and you're down and you're kneeling and you're standing and you're doing the communion and all that. At least that's the way I remember it when I was growing up, right? I mean, it's like, holy crap, this is never going to happen. I'm going to miss the football game if it keeps going on like this. Sorry. Like I said, I'm going right to
the
hell.
I'm
lightning
waiting for the
is
lightning to
coming.
strike
Yes.
him.
I had to move.
He was
That's
a
what
great
usually
guest.
happens is he does
Yeah.
something stupid and somehow I end up getting blamed for it or pay the price.
No, he was a
I
great
can
guest
relate.
yesterday. So, what? It's a lot of audience participation
I
today. I,
know.
love that.
Everybody's
I'm not
having a
even
good
married
time.
to him, and I got to pay the price with some of the things he does.
You got a little round of applause for that one there. Little zinger in there. So, what do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
What's new?
Yeah, what's going on
Let's
with the
start
rebuild?
with what's new rather
Whenever I
than
tell people we're doing the
revisiting.
show, I always
Yeah.
say you come prepared to update people on rebuilding the island. So let it rip.
Yeah, I mean, we're still talking with some of the people that want to develop. Obviously, you guys saw they had the Outrigger. They had their London Bay had their presentation, and I wasn't at either one. I have seen the presentation, but I wasn't at that one. And I'm hearing good things, hearing bad things. Kind of exactly what I expected would happen is what happened. Red Coconut, they're still trying to move forward. We're still talking about the developer agreements. That's still out there going through it. Some people are still wanting to do it. Some are going to just go through the CPD process like London Bay. Some properties have sold on the island to some new people. I'm sure I think you reported it already that there's a new investor on the island that's buying up some properties. So people are investing here. Obviously the traffic, we're dealing with the traffic as best we can.
Whenever I get bored, I just post on Facebook, what do you guys think about the traffic? If it's getting any better, and it's 300 people comment on it. And it's clearly
hard
not
with
the
that.
traffic light. It's not the LCSO guy there or not guy there, a lady there, whoever's there. It's everything combined.
Well, and when if like those little, I call them bollards, but maybe that's not what they're called. Those little bendable things at the base of the bridge that they put up now so that people weren't. I watched over the weekend 3 people go off the
Drive
bridge,
over 'em?
realize, oh, I missed my turn, and then do like a 5-point turn in the middle of traffic to turn around to try to go back south on the island. You try to do things, and then you got some
Yahoo.
bad apple, as Vice Mayor Adderholt likes to call it. That decides it's their freedom to do whatever they want. Despite whomever they hurt, but. So we're dealing with that. I did hear a lot of talk this weekend that traffic, even going south, it was taking them an hour and a half to get from the south end of the island to 41. So there's a lot
People
of
are
people
coming to the beach. We
They're
did
driving.
the walk yesterday from
They
the
need
pink.
to come on bikes or
Your
or
hair
they
looks
need to
so
get
lovely today. What did you do so special to it today?
Please
It
don't
looks
touch me. That's
fascinating.
disgusting.
I mean, don't you guys think her hair looks
Don't
fabulous?
touch
I mean, yeah.
Don't
Thank
touch
you.
me.
Big round of applause.
There you go.
Mostly women clapping.
You're
So-
just jealous because you don't have. No, but it would be good for people to come on and rent bikes, rent golf carts,
kidding.
like so that
Well, I think it was trying to figure out a way. There's no such thing as a bad idea. So try to come up with, and I'm open to
I
listen to
don't know.
anyone.
He's had a few of them.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm not saying it doesn't turn into a bad idea. I'm saying there's no such thing as the start of a bad. How can we promote? We really want to promote alternate means of transit. How do you get people to incentivize them to, when they come to the airport, bring an Uber in and you ride a bike, walk, do something that doesn't
There's
bring a car to the island.
nothing more that you can do to promote a bikeable island than right now what's going on. I mean, why wouldn't you ride a bike? I mean, other than
Or
today,
walk,
it's terrible.
If you just, Megan and I were talking about this in the car. If you walk 3 miles an hour from our house, it took us 2 hours the other day to get, off the island like everyone else. And if we were to walk, we would have gotten over the bridge faster. If you're walking 3 miles an hour, simple math
Right.
tells you would have got off the island much
Right.
faster.
So yeah, I mean, there's nothing. And when May rolls around, everybody's going to be like, "Where is everybody? Where's everybody?" Because
I I get a lot of emails and a lot of comments from people that'll say, I've learned to ask now. If they say, I've never seen traffic this bad before, it's never been this bad since I lived here. My question now is, well, how long have you lived here? Well, we moved down here in 2021, or we moved down here in 2022. We haven't had traffic because of COVID and storm. And I mean, we really haven't had a normal season traffic in 3-4 years. So I'll admit, I almost forgot how bad, where we live, we're just south of Publix, and every normal season traffic for us backs up. Like I said several times, you go out to the end of our driveway and you look down the street, and if the cars are stopped, you wait, or you grab your bikes and you go.
Yeah. What were we going to say?
No, were you talking about that it's quicker to ride a bike than wait?
It is quicker.
Yeah.
But how can we incentivize, some of these developments that are coming in? I've had a conversation with Mark Wilson about how
maybe they could get a discount.
That's exactly it. Yep. Can you
on the room,
or you get like a free coffee in the morning or something to incentivize people? Obviously looking at the water ferries. I've been having conversations with the county and with Mark Wilson, and the town owns a piece of property on the south end of the island. Is there a way that we can create a water ferry that could pick people up? This is just a concept idea, but think if you could get on a bus like you would any other city that takes you to your hotel. It takes you to Estero, or you get on an enclosed ferry that takes you from Estero right over to this end of the island, somewhere on the island, drops you off, and then you can get to your hotel. You'd never have to be in a car. You could, if it's me and I have an option of sitting in traffic in a car for 2 hours, or I could sit on a boat where maybe you can have a cocktail, read a book, do whatever you want to do. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Or if
you get a nice boat ride out of the deal.
No kidding. I mean, I don't know how long it would take, or the route to get to downtown Fort Myers on a boat too. If you wanted to venture off island, if there was other options. Sure. So if you come without a car and you're like, but I want to look around. Well, there's other ways to get there.
Well, and I think, in some of these, it's no different than the trolley. If you could get on a ferry that you could take your bike with you instead of a car ferry, you got a bike ferry, and you could come to the island. You can bike around on your bike. And
Candy wants to know if there are any bike racks in Times Square. I know there's one under the bridge behind SOB. Are there bike racks in Times Square? I don't remember now.
Before the storm, we weren't allowed to take bikes in there. People
That's right.
Tying their trees up there. So we've talked about putting bike racks at the base of the bridge. At least I've been trying to talk about that before the storm, because when you're coming onto the island, you see people tying their bikes up to the bridge. It'd be nice if we're trying to promote having people bring their bikes here or ride their bikes, giving them a secure place to lock it up. Maybe put a bubbler station where they could fill their water bottles and get a drink.
Cool.
On both sides of the bridge, those that want to ride over. I mean, it
and
would be nice.
Sunscreen.
And we were working on before the storm, we were working on that was going to be part of with the new sign that went up down there, and that was in the plans or in the works to do those kind of things. That blew over and then just completely disappeared. So there was talk about doing that before and kind of incorporating it into the new light that's going to be down there and things. So there's things we can do to try to promote it, but getting businesses to offer a discount if you're coming to stay at their hotel, whether it's 5% or you get a free coffee, whatever it is, a free breakfast, something,
Good idea.
I came here on Wednesday afternoon and I looked and looked and looked. I could not find a place to park. So then I went and parked. I drove back over.
Whoa. You have to realize that if there was a place to park in a $20 lot, she wouldn't do it. She needs to find a $5 lot. That's what she means when she can't find a place to park.
Yes. I don't.
Did you go see the parking Nazi?
No. Okay. No. So I drove back over, and there was plenty of parking at the base of the bridge in that free lot. And it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over the bridge.
Yeah. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump. It's a good walk.
It is.
It is a good walk.
Half a
and
mile.
If you're carrying coolers and kids.
Well, if you're doing that.
Yeah. So for people that might not know,
but the bus is there.
The bus is there.
The state is going to start working on the base of the bridge in April. I believe they said in April, and they're going to expand the part of the bridge where you're not allowed to ride your bike, where you're only allowed to walk. They're going to expand that out, and there's going to be a walking lane and a biking lane.
Right.
So that you can get over the bridge on your bike.
There was originally talk about cantilevering it out so you could have two lanes, and the bridge just structurally can't support it.
So, I mean,
they're putting a light at the base of the bridge, which hopefully will help because there's especially now, there's people trying to come out of that intersection.
Main Street. Yeah.
And that, a lot of people that may not know, if you're coming out of Dock Ford's or if you're on that side of the bridge and you go to get something to eat, instead of taking a right and going to the stop sign and trying to turn left and come over, if you actually go under the bridge and come around,
that's right.
You can take a right by the old by the parking lot you're talking
Yep.
about, and come in. Now you're taking a right on the bridge, which is
Yeah.
much safer than trying to cross that traffic.
Yep.
Or if you do go that way, take a right on the main street, go down Buttonwood, and go to the light. Then you
And
can get
come
into the
back
light. It's
through.
safer. I mean, I don't know how many times every year you see someone
Dart
Trying to
out.
they
take
don't
that
see him and they
left.
dart
Yep.
out there into the left, and it's like, oh.
Plus, the other thing you got to be
Plus
aware of,
crossing that street too. That's
Yeah.
Ooh.
you got to be aware of walkers coming down, walking over the bridge on that sidewalk there
Right.
too.
That's what I
But
just said.
yesterday, we did a long walk on the beach. Dan, the beach looks amazing. I mean, it's long. In certain spots, the sand, the way they take care of the beaches and behind the hotels, it really. This is before the renourishment. The
Yeah.
beach looks great. I mean, we know you're getting more sand. You're getting nice new sand in like different phases.
Yeah,
Well-
remind us when that's going to start.
Started.
Well, the truck haul has already started on the
No,
south end.
the digging it out from the water.
I think September, right around September is when you'll start seeing some of that. I think it's 2 miles offshore the shoal that they're going to start dredging the stuff in, and they're going to start on the north end and work their way south. But the truck haul is going right now. I know Chad and Mike are trying to work on getting through FEMA. They're trying to get the use expanded for the funding, because right now we got the $8 million from the FDEM grant from the appropriations from last year that's being used for this truck haul. So we're just trying to expand it to be able to try to get some of the south end that needs the help right now, try to get some of that done. Right now it's being used to fill in a lot of the scour holes and a lot of the beach accesses, and fix some of the berm that was compromised. And so you're going as fast as you can, especially when you got to work,
Fast,
well,
because
fast
May,
and,
right?
well, yeah,
Because the
seasons
turtles and the
is-
birds.
yeah,
and
you got a lot of things you got to
So,
work around.
because turtle season goes from May to October, I think. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a significant amount of
Yeah. It
time
is.
where you won't be able to do that. I'm wondering if they'll
And if
be
there's a
able
nest
to.
in there, then you got to. I mean, you can't do any work there.
Right.
So
I'm wondering if they'll be able to dig the sand. How that'll work if they can do it during that time.
I don't know. We've got the right people on the job. Chad's
Yeah.
doing
Oh,
a
yeah.
great job. Mike and his team are doing a great job. So we know it's in good hands. Those guys are working their tails off to do the best they can, and that's all we can ask for.
So if you were we wouldn't hold you to this, obviously, but if you were to take a guess, 1 year from now, 18 months from now, all that's new sand is going to be out there. How long do you think it'll be before people are like, wow, this is crazy awesome?
Well, I would say probably not by next season, but the following season for
Okay.
sure. It'll all be done, and it'll be as close to back to normal as it can be. But probably they're starting in September. I don't know the exact timeline of when they're going to be done with it, but I would say for sure not next season, but the following season. But like you said, the beach is already beautiful right
It
now.
looks
It's-
great. When we were walking down some of those different spots, I know people sometimes they get crazy because you rake the sand, but it really looks really
Yeah.
nice when you do.
One of the first question, the very first question that was asked to me when I went into the Jacksonville trailers, after I became mayor and I walked in and sat down in the first meeting, the very first thing they asked me was, what do you want us to concentrate on today? And the first thing I said was the beach.
Yes.
And the reason I said that was there were so many things going on, but without taking care of the beach and getting the beach, people were working so hard on their houses just to be able to walk out to a nice, clean area, watch the sunset. It just rejuvenated you.
Mhm.
Yes.
It allowed you to realize things. So having that beach clean as fast as possible and keeping it as clean as possible, that's what people come here for.
That is the number one thing people come here for.
And if
for sure.
they have a clean beach to come to,
Yeah.
they're
Mhm.
they're going to come and they're going to spend money and they're going to stay in the hotels and they're
Yeah,
going to.
and part of the traffic problem is that with only 4 hotels open, I know there's some condos open here and there, but with only 4 hotels open in one general area,
Right.
other than the Pink Shell, Diamond Head's a little bit down. People are staying off the island, then driving on and driving off. So
Yeah.
that is adding to the
We got
traffic
the one behind us
because
too.
yeah, oh, that's right, Harbor House is
A
open.
lot of drive through. I've talked to a couple people, sitting in traffic, asking them, where they're coming from. Some are just driving through. They first time driving through to see the devastation. There's a little bit of people. Some people
Yeah.
are working. Some people are going to have dinner at, JWBs or wherever. They're coming to Wahoo Willie's. They're just coming to want to eat. The people that are staying on the south end, we all know that there's no place for them to eat.
All right,
So
let's talk about the South End. What do you know about Santini Plaza?
probably
Ugh.
as much as you know. I mean, they're working on it. Credit to Vice Mayor Adderhall. He has taken that on that and 7-Eleven,
Yes.
and he is. I'm so thankful for the people that we have on council because everyone is doing something to help the island, and not one person can do it all, but we've all kind of got things that we're
Yeah.
working on that all
Like
need to
divide
be done.
and conquer to
Yes.
get it
You know,
done. Yeah.
and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
It should be that
Ugh.
everybody's doing the work because we're all equals.
What does John King do? Does he really do anything?
Oh, he does
I
a lot.
mean, he does.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen him really
John,
do anything.
You know, he's
Oh,
awful
my
quiet.
gosh.
You know, he does a lot. Everybody does a lot. I mean, everybody. The thing is, you don't really get to see a lot of the stuff.
I'm
you know?
kidding. I know.
You don't get to see a lot of the things that are going on and that are being done until they're finally done. You know, you don't see all the work that goes into getting something
It's
done.
a full-time job for you guys.
Yep.
It is.
Is it true
job.
though that one of the problems that Santini Plaza is having has to do with turtle lights? Do you know that
Turtle what?
turtle lights?
Well,
Oh.
yeah, they have to. And we just had the discussion with Chad, and I probably got a little more heated than I should have. But
like, give us a recap of replay the way you had that meeting with him.
well, for me, to make policy decisions that affect our residents year round when we're required to do things for 6 months, especially when we have the opportunity and the technology to do things. I use the example. I can go to Home Depot right now and buy a bulb that I can change one of 77,000 different colors from my phone.
Yeah.
But we don't allow things like that to us. Now, I understand if you're on the beach, that's one thing, but trying to draw a line of demarcation in the sand that if you're in the red, you have to use this. If you're in the gray, you can use this. Well, if I'm in the red and you're my neighbor and you're in the gray, and you can have different lights than I can. I mean, there's so many things out there. And if you allow the people that are building their houses and their designers, they're going to give you a spec sheet of every light, and they're going to highlight exactly what they're going to do with every single light that they're going to put in. We had to fight very hard to get dimmable lights. You know, when we were talking about the lighting on Estero Boulevard, we sat out there at 2:00 in the morning, and we're just we've done everything you've asked for.
Yeah.
They're amber, they're shielded, they're dimmable, and they meet the 1-foot candle requirement.
I
For
was
FDOT.
watching the town council meeting last week, and you're like, somebody was saying, wait, FWC doesn't require you to do this. You just have to do it just in case. It was like, it's not really a law or a rule, but you have to,
Well, you
just
get
in case
violated, for
there's a
sure.
disorientation. Then you're in trouble.
And I've never been a fan of turning lights off. You know, to set a system up where you're going to have to shut lights off doesn't make sense.
It's totally
But if you
unsafe.
can control it, and I think Vice Mayor Adderholt made a point. You know, when he lived in the condo on the beach, he invested his own money to make sure he had shades
Yes.
that would automatically come down at a certain time to make sure that just in case somebody forgot to turn a light off or didn't do something. You know, it's just, to me, we want to be environmentally friendly. We want to take care of the turtles. We want to do the right thing, but we can't go too far one way to
Right.
forget about the public
So
safety.
so
You just
back
can't
to
do it.
Santini Plaza. Governor DeSantis figured out how to build a bridge in 3 days. And we
Yeah.
can't get Santini Plaza open. The people on the south end of the island are dying down there for something.
Hey, wait,
Yeah.
you know, short of, I don't know what to tell you. All we can
I
do
mean,
is, once you got a permit, it's
But
kind of.
don't you think that if the turtle lighting problem is holding up somebody from getting open, obviously I don't want turtles to die,
Right.
but it's not turtle season.
There you go.
I mean, so
Well, Chad was
so what's
asking
the
for
answer?
direction, and I
So
think
what
we
would you
gave him
say? They
fairly good
open with
direction.
regular
I
lights
don't know
and
what
then
the
have to
answer is.
change
I'm
them
a
out?
dumb
But that's not what he.
podcaster.
Wow,
I'm a
that-
dinky podcaster. I don't know what
No,
the
you
answer
had
is.
it right the first time. Sorry.
Sorry.
If-
I don't know that the lights are the only thing that would be holding that project
Okay.
up. I mean,
All right, could be something else.
Well, I'm sure they're dealing with insurance issues like
Yeah.
everywhere the condos are dealing with. I mean, it's not cheap to rebuild a project like that.
Yeah.
You know, they're working with the 50-50 rule there. They're not tearing it down. So there's a lot of things. So you got to be cautious of, we'll just use the lights because that's what you're talking about. What this light is $100 and I need 50 of them. Well, I can't do that because that's going to put me over the 50%. So I got to find a light that's $50.
Good point.
You know what I
Good
mean?
point.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of that goes into it to make sure that it's compliant from what it has to be and cost. I
Yeah.
mean, they're dealing with a lot of issues, but I have not had a personal conversation with the owner. I know Vice Mayor Adderholt
Yes.
has.
I think
so
he talks to him every day.
he does, and he,
Dude, what are you
like I said,
doing?
Jim is down there, and when you have a counselor that's already working on it, we can't be in the same place at the same time
Sure,
talking
right.
about
Right.
it. So
Got it.
I've found it best once someone that's doing a very good job and they've taken upon themselves, it's best to let them run with it and Anybody that knows Jim knows he's a bulldog. When he gets on something, he's going to make
Yeah.
sure he gets
He's
done.
the nicest bulldog,
He
though.
is.
He
Yeah, he
just
is,
keeps
he is.
going at
He
it
is,
and going
he
at
is,
it.
he is.
And
He's always so polite. I wish I
he's
could
so
figure out how
polite.
to
He
do
always
that.
like, as he says, well, let's set
Let's
set
take
the
a
table for
20,000.
us.
Let's take a 20,000-foot view for the people that are watching at
Yes,
home.
yep, that's what we got to come up with a book of Jimisms.
He's got a lot of
He's
experience.
got it,
He's been
yeah.
around. He knows what to do.
We should do a drinking game with Jim Adderholt every time he says, for the people that are watching at home, and everybody should drink during a town council meeting.
Maybe that could be a game show.
Schoonover, you
There
ready
you
for that
go.
one? So you guys got a new council member that'll start at
do.
your next meeting.
Yep.
Scott Safford got a 4-0 vote. The only thing that
And you thought it wasn't going to happen.
no, I certainly did after I saw what the attorney did, and that brings me to my question to you. If the attorney would have brought that information to you guys, like you might have needed 5 votes to approve a budget or a tax increase or whatever it was, it would have probably went smoother the first time. How did all that come about and not in the first meeting? Like, what do you pay her for if she doesn't bring that information forward?
Well, I mean, again, how can one person know They're not one lawyer knows every single law in the land.
Really?
No,
Okay,
But-
sorry.
I didn't. I mean, I knew that you had to have. I knew you had
You're
to
an
have a
idiot.
certain amount of vote, but I never knew that you had to have a majority vote. And then there was some discussion about, well, is it of the seats available, or is it because if it's four people,
You're gonna
a
pass it.
unanimous vote is a unanimous vote.
Yeah.
But evidently, there's an AG ruling out there that says it has to be of the number of seats. So if you've got 5 or 7, you have to have that many member. Only if it's 110% above the rollback rate. So whatever the rollback rate is, if it's whatever
Right.
your new millage rate's
It's
going to be,
totally confusing.
you can't go over 110% of that unless you have a unanimous
I'm
vote.
pretty sure I read that 50 times,
Yeah.
and I still don't get it. But
Well, there's a shocker.
And then you have to have a super majority vote if it's over 100%.
and I've only had one wife. I mean, this is you when you're married, you put up with that kind of abuse, and you roll with it, bro.
You know,
So-
I'll take the blame for the first meeting where we didn't get a selection. I was thinking about it afterwards, and I wish that we would have had a discussion about it before.
You think they would have rolled you to a different vote?
No, but I think
Oh.
it would have at least, I think if we had the discussion, say you took a vote, have a discussion, take another vote. If it doesn't change by the second vote, it's not going to change, right?
Right.
And you got to go look at something else. But we didn't have a discussion, and I'll take the blame for that because I think we should have.
Are you resigning? Is that what you're saying?
I'm
You're
not
officially
resigning.
resigning as the mayor?
You don't know me very well, do you? I don't give up.
But I can understand why that would be awkward because you're actually talking about the people that are sitting like in the front
Mhm.
row, and it's like you're
Well, it's
talking
no-
how much you like, and you like them all,
Yeah,
but you have
everybody's
to like. It's like having 4 dogs, and you like one better than
It's
the
not
other
about
3.
for me. It
Bad
wasn't.
analogy.
It wasn't about who you like or don't like, because every one of them are liked people. They're all
Yeah.
respected in the community.
Yeah.
It's about, for me, it was about who's the best fit for the position right
Right.
now where we're at. That's the way I looked at it, because they're all equally liked. They're all involved in the community.
Yeah.
They all do things. So it isn't about to me, it wasn't about who's better liked or not liked. It was about who has the most experience to fit the position that we need right now.
Yeah, and when you guys had the discussion last week, I thought it sounded fine. Everybody talked about why they
Sure.
voted, and
I wish
it
we'd
was
have
fine.
did that the first
Yeah.
week. I think if we'd have did that, maybe we could have gotten somewhere.
Yeah.
But
It is what it is. You
now.
got
We've
5?
got 5,
Yeah.
and
And
we'll
Scott
march
has
on.
Going to go moving forward.
Scott has announced that he will not run for that position.
That's
Of
what he
course, he
said,
could
yeah.
change his mind, but he has repeatedly said he wants to spend time with his grandkids, and he's not going to run for the position. And so, whoever wants to run should probably get out there now and start a campaign that they want to be a
Yeah,
town.
I don't think it's opened up yet. I have to
they can
check
still
with Amy.
campaign.
And then you've got a deadline. Obviously,
Yeah.
the cutoff. I think it's June or.
Who do you think should run?
Whoever feels that they can serve the community.
What kind of answer was that, man? I mean, give me some names. We want
Why
some
would he
names.
give you names?
Yeah.
He's not going to endorse anybody.
By the way, Dan is running. You're up
I
for
know.
an election.
Yeah.
Jim Adderholt, did he announce he's running
I
officially
don't
yet?
know. I don't know. I know you talked to him.
Do you
about
think
it
he
on the
should
show.
run again?
I certainly hope he
It's
does.
Yeah.
his story to tell.
I certainly hope he does. You know,
I think he will.
as we've said many times, it's a lot of work, and,
Yeah.
and it's not right now, especially. It's not something, if you're not going to be 100% committed to it, and you're not going to devote as much time as you can. We all still have lives that we have to live.
Yeah.
But
Listen, it's
But
a
it
lot of work for
how
me, and I'm
much-
not even on the council. I mean,
How
holy
much time
Christmas,
do
watching
you
all those
think
meetings.
How much time do you think you
Did you
spend?
touch me?
I want you to zip it for a minute. How much time do you think you spend yourself on town council business?
I realistically, between meetings and calls and emails and going to events and doing things that you have to do, going to Tallahassee,
Yeah.
I would say 50 to 60 hours a week realistically.
Well, why don't you guys
And
just
the pay on that is what? What is
13?
the pay?
Well, it's
16,
19,000 for the mayor and
19,000.
16.
why don't you guys just do what Cape Coral did and approve yourself a raise in the middle of the night where nobody's watching?
We all see how well that stipend worked out.
Wow. Those people are all going to be voted out of office one way or the other. So,
But you do it. I mean, if you're doing the
Not
job,
about the money.
you're doing it for the love of the community. You're doing it because you believe in what you're doing. You want to do the best that you can to help out. And if you get to a point where your heart isn't in it, then you get out of the way. Or if you get termed out, you get termed out. I feel that I still have a lot to offer, so I'm gonna run again.
oh, you're going to win in a
see what
landslide. You're going to get so many votes this year because, and being serious for a second, I mean, I haven't been serious for the first 41 minutes, but to be serious for a second, you guys, this council, let's say you get elected and Jim gets elected and Karen and John run again, you're going to be the four that are remembered for whether or not the rebuild goes well or it doesn't go well. I mean, it's your stamp is on it because you'll be here the whole time. I mean, there's no way anyone's beating you. Nobody's going to run against you. That would be dumbass.
Well, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just finishing what we started.
Yeah.
You know, we got into this not knowing we were going to deal with a devastating hurricane, and now that we have, it takes a long time to build, reputation, and it takes a long time to build a working relationship with people in Tallahassee and DC and all the people that can help you rebuild.
And it only takes one
and
bad show to damage your reputation, by the way, just so you know that. I mean, I've learned my lesson that way.
Yep.
So,
Let me just,
can you're going to ask a question today?
It is a part-time job, just fending off some of your posts. I will say.
he takes lots of naps during the day.
I've gotten a lot better at
That's
it.
right.
I mean,
So when you're talking about, the time that you put into it and you're here, and I feel like you guys are fairly approachable, but that's because I know you. We were doing a show Friday night and the comment came up. Someone was making a comment and we said, well,
Chris Sack.
you should share that with, with the townspeople. And I don't know exactly how the quote was, but my take on it was that she felt it wouldn't be not well received, but
Okay, let me elaborate
You
on that a
say
little. I felt like she believes that this town is rebuilding big buildings and that the people that don't want the big buildings are being drowned out by that voice. The big building voices are louder, and we got the impression that she didn't want big buildings. She wants you to stick to the LDC and the comp plan,
But
and that's
that
going to
she
be an
didn't
interesting
feel
thing.
like it was
But she
gonna
didn't
be-
feel
yeah.
like she could come forward because she felt like she wouldn't be listened to, and which is not the way
now
you guys
I heard
are.
someone clapping. I don't want to point anybody else, but yeah. So you feel that way too. Okay.
I mean,
But with people like Dan, do you really feel that way? I mean, they're so approachable. Like I can understand the last administration when
Come on up.
when they didn't.
no, I think it's important.
Come over so people can hear you.
Yeah.
Wait, come on. No.
Yeah,
And you're so well to run with the impromptu stuff.
absolutely.
I personally feel that
See, he had to go to the
Fort
bathroom, so
Myers
you really
Beach.
helped him out.
He's
I hope
always got a
everything
motive.
comes out.
doesn't he? He's
I
always
hope
got a
everything comes out all right.
motive. Yeah.
I feel like Fort Myers Beach has the small town, quaint, homey, everybody's welcome atmosphere. I
Mhm.
feel like the big buildings bring in a lot more crowds that aren't quite as friendly. I feel like we are all a family down here. And when it gets too big, it's too big.
Mhm.
And the views are beautiful from most everywhere. You get all these big buildings. Now all of a sudden the views are gone. As far as, I don't live here. I would love to, but I don't. But when I come, I want to be able to see stuff. I don't want it to be all blocked besides big buildings.
No, that's understandable. And your point of view, whether most people agree with it or they don't, it's still your point of view, and it's still important for us to hear.
Sure.
And I can't speak for my other council members, but I feel in this I can. They want to hear from people, whether you're on this side of the issue or that side of the issue, because the more information you get, you may have a point that someone hasn't thought of, or you may say something that may spark something in the decision maker's mind that says, they got a good point. Let's explore that. Why didn't we talk about this, or why didn't we talk about that? But when people are silent and they don't say anything, and you only hear from one side, it's
Mhm.
very, unless you're hearing someone say, I love it or I hate it, then that's what we're there for. We're there to work for the people. And if the majority of the people that you hear from say we love it or we hate it, well, you work for them. Then you got to work within what they call the guardrails. We're saying the guardrails now. You got the guardrails you got to stay between to be able to do what you got to do. But
Well, obviously money talks. So the big money's going to come in.
Mhm.
They're going to spend big money, which means they need to charge big money for the
Mhm.
rooms, which makes it less affordable for what I would call the average person.
right.
And it takes that approachability away for most people for this area.
Mhm.
And this has always been such a people town and a friendly area that I feel like if it's just all high rise or all big condos and everything's so expensive, it takes that quaintness away.
Yeah, we've all said the reason I stayed here, the reason I came here, the reason everybody else, because it's fun, it's funky, it's eclectic.
Yes,
Any
exactly.
conversation I have with someone, whether they're going to be rebuilding their home
Mhm.
or whether investing in property to build a building or build a small business back, whatever they're doing it just for the reason that you're saying, because it is different. We're different than Sanibel. We're different than Marco Island.
Right.
We're different than all the other islands. And there's a reason. It's the people. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily the buildings. It's the people.
Exactly.
It's the people that work at the bar like this or work as servers. It's the people that make this area. You can.
Mhm.
It's like I'm from the Midwest, so it's like a small town home feel
Mhm.
where
Yes.
every neighbor helps every neighbor, and I don't think any of us want to lose that. And fortunately, one of the criteria we have for approving or denying has nothing to do with economic viability of the person building the building.
Sure.
You know, I've said it all along.
Mhm.
The argument of, well, the numbers don't add up. Well, that's not a decision that
That's
Right.
not the council's problem.
That's not. That's
Right.
not.
I'm just giving an opinion versus what I think you should do.
Sure.
I'm just saying, as patrons of the beach for many, many, many years,
Mhm.
it's a sad vision to see when the quaintness might disappear.
Yeah, we all. I think
And
we all.
it's
After
just,
that storm,
it's just
when you,
the way
Yeah.
of the world. The things change. I know.
well, and the houses that so a lot of the charm that we lost, we unfortunately can't build that back the way it was. There's just
Right.
no way to do it.
right.
But it doesn't mean you have to put up just straight concrete walls. There's ways to make things. I mean, look at Nervous
Mhm.
Nellie's. That it's colorful, it's fun, it's vibrant, it's concrete, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like just a big concrete.
Oh, yeah, there's
structure.
always
So-
Well,
ways
there's
to
got to
make
be
it-
a happy medium between,
Sure.
yes, obviously they have to build up in certain areas,
Mhm.
but how high up is
Well, didn't we
and
used
those-
to
What to
have a
know.
height rule prior to this?
Yeah, there was always height limitations within the comp plan and the LDCs. But the
But
LDC sets the height.
but if a group, we get back to this, if a developer applies for a CPD, then they can ask for whatever they want.
Sure.
So
I mean,
there is a height, but not if they're
Well-
go through the CPD process. Is that correct?
Well, you can ask for things outside. There's maximums that you can do for like FAR and stuff.
Okay.
You can ask for more through the CPD process. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. That's
Right.
where the public benefit things come into play. And you
But
know,
I don't think it's as black as and white as saying there's a height limit, and then people go, well, how did so and so get up so high? Well, they went through the CPD
well,
process.
and I think people are going to look at, what's too high, what's too much, where's that? We don't really know yet because nobody's come forth with something to have a conversation. No real hard. We've seen renderings. We've all seen the renderings, but nobody's really come forward with a plan saying, here's what we want to do. Here's what we feel giving up for public benefit offsets what we're asking for, and then have the discussions to see if the public agrees with them or doesn't agree with them. And until we have that, until we actually have something that the staff can review, then it goes to the LPA process, then it comes to us. It's really hard to speculate. Is it going to be 3 stories, 2 stories? We've all both the LPA and the council have said we want to keep the comp plan. What we said is we don't want to just give away more by right. We don't want to say you get 5 stories now by right. So let's change all of this so that you get this, because everybody knows if you got $5, you're going to ask for 10. If you got 10, you're going to ask for 20. So doesn't mean, and I hate to use the process word, but I'll use it. There's still the process. We wanted to make sure as we said at the beginning, or at least I said at the beginning, the comp plan as drafted does need some updating, a little tweaks here and there in the land
Right.
development code. It never has been tested. This storm is the first time we're really going to test that comp plan to see if it works. We've
think
seen buildings be built within the comp plan that could have been bigger, could have been more, could have been all kinds of things. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think that when the rubber hits the road, when we start seeing what exactly is out there, people may
But that's
Who
when
knows?
people really need to come
That's
out
when you need to be
and
vocal.
and
Absolutely.
express your opinion, because it will not fall on deaf ears. And it's important to express your
I mean,
opinion.
if you've noticed, it's some of these variances and stuff. One of the council members, whether it's Jim, myself, one of us will usually ask, has there
She's
there
looking
been
for
any
an out.
letters of support or against on this? And
Mhm.
the staff will say, we've heard, or usually if someone's very vocal, they'll send it directly to us. But sometimes they send it to staff and we hear about it through the staff that, we've got 5 people that love it, 5 people that hate it, or everybody hates it or everybody loves it. And that does weigh on your decision. At least it doesn't mine.
So the question I had for you is, so Mark says 17 stories is, he doesn't have a plan B. 17 stories is what he is. Do you think 17 stories will get approved?
I think it's going to be very difficult.
Okay. I mean,
I
at
think
least
it's
you're being
gonna be
honest.
very-
I mean, I can't see anybody on the LPA and the town council
It's
approving 17 stories.
Well, and you got to look at what is important to the community. Is it important to the community? Obviously, we've heard the South End. It's important to start getting businesses back open, right?
Yeah.
Now we know that we're just using that because you brought that up, but
Right.
that's 4 years from now. That before that ever gets anywhere. But is it important to have hotel rooms down there? Because these guys could come in and just build condos.
Yes,
and
they could.
So is it important to the community?
If
to
They
they
do have
built-
some leverage.
If they built
I mean,
condos,
both
though,
sides have leverage,
Yes.
and anyone that's ever been in any negotiation, usually the best outcome is when you both walk away feeling like you didn't get exactly what you want, but you can live with
Yes.
the outcome. And I think as long as you do that, that's a good, fair negotiation. And everybody doesn't win, but everybody doesn't
Yeah.
lose.
if they were to build condos, that there's still, though, there's going to have to be some give and take on the height, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they have a plan B or not. They haven't. What you saw is what I.
Well, no,
what I
but
saw.
if they were like, that's it, we're doing condos and it's 17 stories, it still has to get approved.
It would still have to get approved, but I'm sure that there's ways they can design things that fit within height restrictions. And when it's too, again, it's going to be an interesting. I'm really looking forward to hearing the conversations.
I
We'll just
can't
talk
wait.
about height.
I can't wait till
Are
that
people
all
okay
comes up.
with 3? Or
Yeah.
Are they okay with you got to stay at 2?
Yeah,
Or are they okay with
It's
Right.
almost seemed like things
And I
were
hate story. I hate the word stories.
I know.
Just because.
floors
I mean, if you
Because the
floors,
story
it's
could
gonna-
be whatever.
or
Yeah.
density, but it almost seemed like things were. You saw all these different proposals coming up, and then it just kind of stopped. Like nothing's come before the LPA.
Mhm.
I mean, what's stopped everything?
Well, I think the talk of the development agreement has kind of put a pause on because
Okay.
if you can do a development agreement, that
You go around it.
well, it's not going around it. You still have to have the open meeting with the LPA and the council, but essentially, it just you coming in saying, "Here's what I need. Here's
Okay.
what I'm willing to give up." If you can at least get, and then once they present that, then they still have to have the public meeting where they have it out in front of the public, and you're not signing anything until it gets through the approval process. But it's something, it's without having to spend all the money to go through the CPD process and do all of that. But nothing is official until it goes through that process, the
Yeah.
LPA and the council meetings.
So, speaking of the LPA, Dan, I mean, I love watching government meetings. I mean, if I could watch, if I could watch C-SPAN 24 hours a day, I would. I mean, I had to take a break from the Bay of Pigs and the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And the bathroom, the bathroom breaks.
Did you announce I went to the bathroom when
Yeah.
all I really did was invited a member of the audience on? It's not like I
you
had
took
to
an
go.
opportunity.
I
You
took
saw
the
an
to
opportunity
go.
and you took it.
So the LPA meeting, they spent over 2 hours on one pool. I mean, is that really a good use of the LPA's time? They're rebuilding an island, a 7-mile island. They spent 2 hours on a pool dispute in one neighborhood.
Well, I think that, yes, that is their job. That's the reason the LPA is there. It's
Why
their,
can't staff do that?
well, staff makes they review it, make the recommendations, then it goes to the LPA that advises the council as to.
So this is going to come to you now.
It's going to come to us. It has to. It goes through that process.
But I mean, I
but
can
this,
understand.
but this to the point we were just talking about. I watched the meeting. There was a neighbor that didn't like it.
Yes.
And voiced their opinion.
Yes.
And that's why the meeting took. If there was nobody there opposing it, it would have.
But my point is,
it may
why
not have
can't
gone-
I don't understand why a staff member in a government can't say yes or no, and then they just live with it.
Well,
you live
that's,
with it.
that's some of the things we've been talking about over the last
Okay.
year. How can you get some of these variances through that you're not clogging down, administrative things that you can do, like Anita's fence.
Yes, Anita's fence is
You know,
one that always
Right.
comes up,
But that's a perfect example.
and she paid an arm and a leg for her fence. on
Those
these-
are the things that we can correct that can help streamline a process. There's the problem with the administrative approvals in the past is even when they've had the ability to do it, they were afraid to do it.
Yeah.
They were afraid to make
Okay.
a decision.
I see that.
Where
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So, but now I can tell you, Andy is,
They feel more comfortable doing
you
that.
guys are the experts.
Yeah.
And if it's something that, now if it's a bigger plan, all right. If it's a bigger plan that there's specific requirements within
sure.
it, that's different. But if you can prove, you're going to have the bad actors every once in a while say, oh, it was exactly how it was. And you go back and the fence is 16 feet higher, like, wait a minute,
Right.
So you try to do what you can do and empower the staff. I'm always been a person that you empower the people that, and if they make a decision or they mess up one time, that's fine. We all do it. That's when you learn is from your mistakes.
But the town manager, this town manager is going to cover for you. He's got your back.
But
He's
you
that
hire
kind of
good
person.
people and then you let them do their job.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, if you empower someone to do their job and they make a mistake, a good leader will say it's on me.
Yeah.
I
That's
allow
right.
them to do that. If you got a problem with them, bring it up to me. Don't go after them. I'm the one that gave them the authority to do that, and they made a mistake. It wasn't spiteful. It wasn't on purpose. It
Right.
happens. We'll learn. We'll move on. We can correct it. It's
The
not
thing
the end of the
that
world.
I don't mean to keep picking on the last guy, but in this scenario, your town manager hardly says anything. He doesn't speak just to hear himself speak. And when it's his turn to speak, he gets an update. You get an update on all his projects that he's working on. It's such a different kind of atmosphere.
It goes to a lot of communication in the background. We all have meetings
Yes.
with the town manager, and we ask our questions, and we can try to get updates before you get to a meeting, so you're not asking
Right.
all this. If there are questions that have to be asked I shouldn't say that's a bad way to say it, but if there's questions that the public needs to know,
Yes.
then you
Right.
ask them again in the public meeting. But you try to make sure you're asking some of the minutia questions that aren't as important.
Darren, it's been an hour.
I know. I
know.
talk a
So
lot.
what, anything that we missed that you want to make sure people know about? Anything?
If I do, I'll share them with you, and you
Okay.
can.
Question.
What's the
Oh, we got a
question?
question.
LPA address?
There
I
is
can't
no
read it.
address for the LPA.
Yeah,
It meets,
no.
their meetings are, I think they meet once a month. You guys meet,
The first Tuesday of every month.
yeah, and they're on
Where?
the Facebook and the YouTube, and we carry it live.
Right now, we're going to be meeting in the gym where we have been meeting until I think the other committees are meeting in the smaller room
Yes.
inside there.
Which
But I
the
think
internet sucks even worse than that spot.
The LPA is meeting in the gym, but
At
hopefully,
Bayos.
as soon as we get all the furniture and everything in the trailers, we'll be moving.
Are you
over
still
there
waiting
shortly.
on FPL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did. I don't know. Did I talk to? Did we have the meeting with FPL before last week's
Yes.
show? or-
Yeah. You,
so
you
we-
said
we
you
told-
laid the law down on
No,
that.
I didn't lay it. We just let them know there's obviously a communication breakdown we got to fix, and they were very receptive. Sounds like they got 7-Elevens up and running now, so it's
Yeah. It's so funny,
didn't-
everybody, because I wrote a story about FPL, and then all of a sudden I heard from FPL about how it was misinformation that it was sending out there. And nobody can get power on the island. Oh, I'm so sorry. I offended the monopoly. I offended the monopoly. So
Were
it's
you
nice to
putting
be a
out
monopoly.
misinformation?
I don't think I was. I got it right from Adderholt. You know, he's a fountain of misinformation. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Fort Myers Beach,
See you guys.
Dan
Thank you.
Allers. Yeah, man, that was great. Boy, that hour flew by, dear. I'm going to let you go. I know you got to go potty. Overall Outdoor Services, people, they're one of our sponsors. Without our sponsors, we could not survive these paying for these yellow jackets. I don't know if you saw the post on Facebook yesterday, but somebody bought one of my yellow jackets right off my back yesterday. For some reason, I was wearing the one without my name on it, and the guy stopped me in Margaritaville and said, I'll give you $100 for that jacket. I said, I'll take it. Yeah, you can have it, bro. He's there. So there's one other person on Fort Myers Beach that has this yellow jacket, and he paid $100 for it. So thank you very much for that. I bet you thought I lost my place, but I didn't. Overall Outdoor Services. Chris is the owner, and he's sitting in his car right now waiting for you to call him because he will help you with your irrigation. He will help you with all your drainage, everything that you're doing outside your house, your new build, your new rebuild. I think Ed Schoonover's actually, if you ever been to Ed Schoonover's house, he's got fountains. He's rich beyond belief. It's mostly his wife's money, but he doesn't mind spending his wife's money. So he built a big pool. They got koi fish in the pool. They've got alligators that swim around the moat. And Overall Outdoor Services is the company that helped them put it all together. Also, Valerie's Lounge and Liquors is now open, and they're smoke-free, ladies and gentlemen. They are non-smoking. Oh, we got some Valerie's fans here. Very nice. And they are open from 7 a.m. at 7 until 2 a.m. Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. They have charity bar bingo on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And they have karaoke every Tuesday at 8:30. And you can be a star because everybody loves to sing because they all think they're the next Taylor Swift. The Flying Hasselhoffs play every Thursday night from 9 o'clock starting at 9 o'clock. So stop by Valerie's Lounge and Liquors. And of course, one of our favorite real estate agents on the island is Alex King. In addition to selling and buying homes, Alex King is he's like the Fort Myers Beach philanthropist. He sponsors everything because he's just throwing Benjamins at people. He's got this fund where he likes to help people out, and he's such a nice guy, but he wears Crocs. I don't understand why he wears Crocs. Does anyone else in the world wear Crocs anymore? You have Crocs on? I mean, who wears Crocs? Well, he stands out, that's for sure. Alex King, give him a call. He's waiting in his car right now. If you ever met Alex King's wife, don't piss her off because she'll throat punch you. 239-849-3663. That's 239-849-3663. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for making them wait so long, but Joy is here from the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation. And please give her a big round of applause because we love the Community Foundation. They do great things on the island. They have cookbooks. They have flags. I don't know if you guys see any of these flags floating around on the beach, but these flags are in coordination, right, with the island. With you got the logo on there from Fort Myers Beach. So yeah, grab two. There you go.
Yeah, we actually got approval from the town council to use the official.
Go ahead, hold it up.
Sure. The logo of Fort Myers Beach.
Very nice.
And these are, you can get them on our website, and they're $40.
Okay.
Or if you buy today, they're $35. So you
A
get
discount. It's a rain discount.
It's a rain. So anyway, and we do still have some cookbooks that we'd like to sell.
Yes.
So yeah.
We've sold a lot. I say we because I shouldn't say we.
You have sold a lot.
The cookbooks are really cool. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of those places aren't coming back that are in the book. So it really becomes a collector's item.
It really is. Shuckers,
SOB.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they say SOB is coming back.
Plaka.
Plaka, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I think last thing I heard about Plaka was they're putting together a food truck that they might want to put in Santini Plaza if they ever do that. So
that would be really nice for us Southsiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the cookbooks we have are here, or if you want to try and buy it online, you can buy it online
at the Community Foundation. Yep.
And what's the website there? Just Google Community Foundation.
FMBcommunityfoundation.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now you guys have,
and they're $30 here or $35 on the website
because you got to pay for shipping. Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys have a pickleball tournament coming up. I mean, who plays pickleball? I mean, has that become a popular thing these days? Now, you guys, are you in your 20s? You're all in your 20s. Have you ever played pickleball? Okay.
Oh, you should.
No.
It's a lot
do you guys
of fun.
Tennis, volleyball? Okay, they're volleyballers. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Pickleball is an old person sport.
No,
Won't you agree? Oh,
no.
come on.
No.
Yeah. I ran into.
Have you played pickleball?
Nobody is ever going to see me.
Don't know.
I'm never going to come home one day and say, dear, I'm going to put my pickleball paddle in the garage right now. So I don't know. I probably will play someday.
You know what?
Because I'm old.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I'm going to be 60.
Well, I don't feel like I'm old. And
when you walk up and down the sidewalk and fall for no apparent reason, you're old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
And you do it live on video, it's even funnier. So,
So speaking of Alex King.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the man.
He has underwritten the pickleball tournament.
Crazy.
He gave us all the money. So all of the registration, which is $40, and we are giving away sweat towels.
Because old people sweat when they play pickleball.
Well, you do sweat a lot.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah. And so I did contact Ed because I did want him to know that we were using Dinky in our name.
Yes.
Which is
I love it.
pickleball tournament.
Why'd you call it that?
Well,
You're going to have so
because-
many teams. It's not going to be dinky.
Well, no. Part of the reason it is kind of dinky. I mean, it's not like we've got thousands of people, right? It's 32 people in each session, and we so far have 19 signed up.
Okay.
So we're looking for more.
Right.
And I do want to just say, you know, all of the money is going to the community, FMB community. So your $40, while you do get a sweat towel as part of the $40, the $40 really is going to the community because Alex King
Yes.
gave us all the money.
Yeah. And so if I'm an individual, I sign up and you'll pair me with probably the 3 worst players out of the group, right? So that my
No,
team
so-
sucks.
Excuse me. The beginners are in the morning,
Oh, okay.
and the 3+ players.
Wait, who determines who's a beginner and not a beginner?
It's an honesty thing.
Oh, because people on the beach are really honest, right? Are they?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I agree.
So,
I'm with you.
Yeah. So the morning is the beginner up
I
to
see.
3, and then 3 and above, and that's
Is it
just like-
2-on-2? Is that how you're doing it?
So the way that we're doing is each individual signs up for themselves, and then we're going to have a drawing to get you on the particular court. So it is going to be randomly assigned, and then it's the queen of the court rules, which is basically what that means is if you win on a game,
Yeah.
you split your partner and you go to the next game.
No idea what you're saying, but
Yeah,
I'm sure
I know.
pickleballers know.
Yeah, pickleballers do know, but we're going to have plenty of volunteers
Yeah.
there to help people, understand which way they go.
So the tournament is what's the date again?
March 16th, we are going to have a St. Patty's Day theme.
Yeah. Does anybody know if there's going to be a parade? Have you heard of there's
I
going to be a
haven't heard.
parade? Yeah.
I think there's been some conversation about it.
It's kind of
but
getting late though.
It's getting late. And I think Nervous Nellies is going to do some big.
Oh yeah, they have the
you know,
dweebs. When
yeah,
the dweebs come to
yeah.
town, they can't even.
So
they got to
Sunday's gonna be
reinforce that
crazy.
dock
Yeah.
when the
Sunday.
dweebs come to town. So here's what I was thinking. What time does the tournament start?
Where we're going to start playing at 9. So I'm sending emails out to all the
Gotcha.
participants to say come 15 minutes.
How
ahead.
long does a pickleball game take?
So we're going to play 8 games.
No. How long does one pickleball
Okay,
game
so
take?
we're limiting the time for 15 minutes for each game, or to 11 points.
So either you have more points or you get injured and you're out or something like if you break a leg or
Well,
you
we're
get,
not planning on that.
okay. I mean, all I read about is pickleball injuries now. Like, I mean, people are standing in one spot hitting a ball. How are they getting hurt?
Well, because when you dive for the ball,
Who's doing that?
old
Why
people,
are
I
okay?
guess,
Old
you
people
know.
diving for a pickleball. Have you guys ever played pickleball? All right, you're with me then.
It's so fun.
So here's what I was thinking. At 8:30,
Yeah.
Kim and I should play against each other, and there should be gambling allowed. We've never played pickleball before. Never. Either
Okay.
one of us.
You know, we could work something out.
Yeah. I would want goggles. I need to wear goggles. Right. A helmet, goggles, knee pads, everything. And I'm going to spike the ball as hard as I can at her.
Well, there is a strategy.
Yeah. Is there a strategy to this game?
Yeah, there really is. Yeah.
Really?
So the other reason it's called dinky is because it kind of is a play on when you dink
Oh,
the
okay.
ball.
Is that part of the game? A dink?
Yes, dinking.
Well, how much does a dink go for? How many points you get for a dink?
Well,
You get more points
so
for a
when you
dink?
dink, you're just kind of hitting it low over the net,
Oh,
and you kind of dink back and
I
forth
see.
until somebody makes a mistake.
So wait a second. Is the ball bounce? Is the ball out to bounce?
Yes,
You bounce the ball once and then you hit it.
you can.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
It bounces first.
Well,
Or is it like badminton when you're just hitting it back and forth?
you can hit it like a volley.
Yeah.
You can hit it back and forth.
I see.
As a volley, but
2 bounces allowed or just one bounce?
no, just one bounce.
One bounce. Okay.
One bounce.
Yeah. So, dear, here's what I was thinking. We're going to play a game at 8:30. We're going to play.
Well, actually, I was kind of hoping that the town council.
Oh, that would be
come
nice.
out.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to the town council on.
It could be the boys
Tuesday.
against the girls. It'd be Karen and John King against Dan and Jim Adderholt.
Something
That would
like
be the
that.
boys against
Yeah,
the girls,
I
right?
mean, I think it would be fun.
So wait, so they could play at 8:00. We could
that
play
would
at
be-
8:30,
Yeah.
but there has to be gambling involved.
Okay.
She's telling me to shut up. Do you want me to shut up?
No,
Joy?
no,
Should
no. No.
if the guest's not asking me to
I-
shut
I
up, why are you?
appreciate- I appreciate.
Yes, thank you.
So we do have a flyer. There's the QRC or the QR code that's
Yeah.
at the bottom. It's been on Facebook all over
Yeah,
the place.
we have it on our Beach Talk Radio
Yes.
news site. I don't think you can scan that
no,
here,
probably.
but we'll be sure to post that up there too. So I
Sure.
love the name. When you guys said that was going to be the name, it's what a great idea.
Yeah.
So 32 teams. You have 16 so far, right?
So
32
there's-
players.
Yes,
Okay.
in the morning and 32 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have 19 signed up. So yeah, you were really good at that. Yeah.
What?
It would be fun. We
You
could
should invite Sanibel over. You should be Sanibel
we could
Council.
actually do it kind of in between our morning and our afternoon sessions.
Dan, have you ever played pickleball? Never.
Oh, it's so fun.
You think? Well, Adderholt's a tennis player, so I'm guessing he's going to pick pickleball up pretty
It's
quickly.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell us what the Community Foundation is up to these days.
Oh,
You're in charge, right? You're running the show
No.
now, aren't you?
Julie Fight is our president.
Okay.
I work on merchandise. In fact, one of the great things is we are going to the farmers market two Fridays in March and 2 Fridays in April.
Nice.
And we're going to sell
Books,
cookbooks,
flags,
and hats.
Oh, you have hats.
We have hats, but we don't want to compete with shirts and
Why?
all that because of all the other vendors. But I talked to Linda Miller yesterday,
Yes.
and it's all set. We've got a spot, and we're really hoping to move
And
our cookbooks.
If anybody doesn't know, the farmers market is in Times Square every Friday and Saturday now from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. So if you're around Fort Myers Beach early in the morning and you can park in Lynn Hall Park, it's only $2 an hour to park in Lynn Hall Park. The town really takes you to the cleaners on the parking, but the county only charges you $2. But the town has no money either, so I get it now. So
So we're gonna try to sell the rest of our merchandise.
how many books
and
you have left?
About 80.
You have 80 cookbooks left.
Yeah.
You sold how many? Do you think you sold?
Oh my
of
goodness, I think about 2,000.
Those? And you're working on a new one
We are working on a new one
with places that are actually open.
Yeah. Well, the notion is to bring out recipes from some of the new restaurants,
Right.
some of the old faithful,
Yes.
right? Still like Snug Harbor, and but we hope to bring in some of the newer restaurants also.
So, do you guys live on the island?
Yes,
And
we live on
so-
Bay Beach Lane.
17 stories, okay with you, or
So, we live at the end of the island
Yes.
where they do allow a higher, condos, right? We live in a condo. However, 17 is a lot. It's an awful lot.
Yeah.
I saw the proposal, and the walkway that they're proposing
Very
is
nice.
absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
And we appreciate the fact that they're thinking about a restaurant where we can go and we don't have to go all the way up here.
Yes.
So we like that part. But I don't know. It just 17 seems like a lot.
Jory, one of the things that is hard for me to figure out with our page is you got people that follow our page. They see a proposal, whether it's for Moss Marina or the Neptune or Outrigger. You don't really know if they're a resident or if they're a visitor. Now, the visitors, of course, we want them to come, but they don't really have a vote.
Right.
It's the residents, the property owners that have a vote. When you talk to the people in your crew or the people that and things like that, what are they feeling about the way things are going? What they see? Because nothing's come up yet. Nothing's been
Right.
approved.
Right.
But what's the feeling they get?
Here's kind of my thought too, is like Margaritaville came in and they followed the rules, right? And I feel like everybody should follow the process, right? And so, I know that there's probably going to be some approvals for higher buildings, like the Myerside building I thought was beautiful.
Mhm.
And they, only asked for a little more, so to speak. I don't know if they've finally gotten, I don't know if they've gone before
No,
town.
nothing.
But
Nothing yet.
I thought
It's
the
coming up to the
proposal-
LPA from what I hear, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but it's very, very nice. And they also have spots for retail for people that are walking by. And
Right.
I think that's great. And I'm on the Boar Cab also. So that's the Bay Oaks,
Yep.
Campus Recreational Advisory Board.
Way too long.
Yeah,
Boar
it is.
Cab.
But Boar Cab's easier.
Murph was smaller, and then they expanded, and then they went insane. I mean, they started and they added a letter, and then when they added that letter, they just lost it. That's a different story, though.
But Myerside is right there next to Bay Oaks.
Your husband's laughing so hard.
I
He's
know he's
ga-
enjoying
gagging
himself.
over there.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself. Well, he's 2 beers in already.
Is that
so.
your first husband?
Hey, I'm giving you this flag.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the free gifts. We love free gifts.
I knew.
Disregard the last
you
question.
sweat,
Disregard
so
that last question.
I think you might sweat every once in a while, so
Yeah,
we're giving
thank
you
you.
a sweat towel.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And you'll have to come and we.
Oh
we
my
should
gosh,
really
that's going to
talk.
be so much
Yeah,
fun.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
So I mean, we should talk offline, as they say in the radio business, about maybe doing like maybe it should be just me against Dan, because I mean I would love to spike that
That would be
pickleball at
pretty
him.
funny,
Man, he's
too.
got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that would really be. We could really make some money doing
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
think.
Yes. So we'll have to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want the
I
people
just
to
want
know?
to say one thing.
Oh, he just said, "Bring it on." He's got no idea what kind of an athlete I am. I mean, I used to do Spartan races, for crying out loud.
Wow.
I did the world's toughest mudder 5 times. I mean, I never finished it. I went. I put a tent up. Not that long. It feels like it, though. How old are you,
No.
Joy? Oh, you don't need to answer that. I mean, how young do you feel? How do you feel? You feel good?
I feel great.
Yeah.
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 I don't know
do.
why I asked you that, but
I don't either.
anything else you want
No.
the folks to know about the
Uh,
Community Foundation?
No, I think we're
What do you
trying to
love the
give
most
back.
about your husband? What is his, like, what is the one reason, like, man, I really love this guy?
Yeah, thank you. His hair.
Oh, stop that. Come on, give us something real to bite on. Wow,
geez.
this is a pregnated pause that I wasn't expecting. I thought you'd be just
Why do you
blurting
why-
things out
He
one
does
after
this to
another.
me. Why do you ask me these questions?
I don't have any idea, but I love
just-
to see
know,
people think. Like,
um,
what's your favorite book? What are you reading right
My
now?
favorite book?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Gone with the Wind.
Oh, stop. When was the last time you read Gone with the Wind?
Well, it was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
But you asked my favorite book.
Really? How many pages is Gone with the Wind?
It's really long. I
Yeah.
love long books.
I stopped reading about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I was just getting obsessed.
Too long?
No, I feel like Kennedy was part of the problem, and I had to stop reading it.
Yeah.
And so I
Well,
picked
there's
up.
no sense in getting upset.
I'm really starting to get upset about it. But I picked up the latest James Patterson book about Michael Bennett. I mean, I can't not read every book he puts out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So
Yeah.
anyway, enough
All
about
right.
me. So
All right. Well,
what's your
thank you
favorite
for your-
TV show? Favorite
Um,
movie?
CSI.
Oh God. Thank you, Joy, for coming on. Big
Bye.
hand
Thank you.
for
Thanks.
for Joy from the Community Foundation. We love the Community Foundation. I hope Kelly was watching, because she's going to give me all kinds of grief. I think I need to read about Sylvester Companies. Dare, are you going to come on and finish the show? Dare? Are you going to? Okay, you sell product. I'll just blab on. Sylvester Companies, baby. They're killing it out there. They've been working in the building industry for over 4 decades. For those of you from Iowa, that's 40 years. I know you have a little hard time with math in Iowa because it's so freaking cold. New construction, restoration, major remodeling, floodplain construction, the 50-50 rule. Nobody knew what the 50-50 rule even meant before September of the hurricane year. Now everybody knows what it is. They help with pool cages and lanais, property management. Give them a call. They're sitting out in their car. Paul Sylvester is the guy to call. His phone number, his cell phone number, is 989-239. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly was watching. 5538. 989-239-5538. Thank you to Sylvester Companies, Tri-Town Construction, Dorston, Power Block, all of our sponsors, Valerie's, Alex King, who's throwing Benjamins out the window at the King Foundation. And thank you all for watching. We will see you again Saturday morning live from Margaritaville. Until then, you have a great weekend. Enjoy the rain, everyone. Bye-bye.